that time again.
Is it? There's no mic check. Just
Nope. Going hot into it. Oh my god, I want to do it.
Hot podcast.
Hot podcast. Hello, Chris.
Ooh. Hey everybody, it's me, Chris, and him, Austin.
Yeah. It's me.
Welcome to another exciting installment. This is an exciting installment of the Half Baked and Half Race show.
Yeah, normally we have to worry about actually having some content.
No, this week just fucking
came to us.
E3 took care of all that shit.
That's right. It's that magical time again where we have a subpar and slightly disappointing, apparently, E3. Yeah. I didn't feel so, but other people seem to think
I mean,
so.
there's only really two decent press conferences.
There were also just. I feel it's again another situation where people aren't curbing their enthusiasm a little bit. Where you kind of have to keep in mind everything was kind of stacked against E3 this year. We're on the cusp of a new console generation.
Yeah, this was not meant to be an exciting E3
by any means. They most people couldn't have a good conference, honestly, because they couldn't show anything. They can't show their new consoles, and therefore they can't show their new games.
Yeah.
Every game that they do show, you have to also in the back of your mind be like, okay, is this going to be a port?
Well, I think they should have said that. Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But I know Microsoft should have said like something in the show is like, oh no, these are just going to be Scarlet launch titles.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But we still don't know the full ins and outs of Scarlet. So
yeah, but we'll get into all that. First, let's just go quick weeks. I mean, most of it was just us watching E3.
Yeah.
Did you do anything? Do anything besides
that?
I
had a great time hanging out with my boys, watching E3, getting drunk.
Yeah.
Getting
all the
lit.
snacks. Many snacks were had. Many beers were had.
Yeah,
not by me though.
Yeah, I took care of the beers. Yeah. So that's what we did this week.
Yeah,
pretty much. Other than that, I went to work.
Yeah. Hey, we did something else. What
did we do?
We played. So for this E3,
oh boy,
and we'll get into it. This E3, Bethesda was like, "Hey everybody, Fallout 76." Isn't a flaming trash fire anymore.
Debatable.
And there's a bunch of content coming out for it soon. So
content
free week.
Content or a battle royale?
And more content, I think, too. But yeah, it's like, we're about to have a bunch of free. Could be a content drop. So hey, everybody can try Fallout 76 this week for free.
Yep.
So we did that.
It's slightly worse Fallout 4 with lag.
Yeah. So much lag. And crashes. I didn't crash, luckily.
I didn't crash. Derek crashed. I don't know.
Our friend Derek crashed like many a times.
Yeah.
I just had numerous AI glitches and
that was everybody, buddy.
Yeah. And just terrible lag.
Mostly lag.
Terrible lag.
Yes.
So the game's not a trash fire anymore, but Jesus Christ, it's still like
it still has tremendous amounts of glitches.
Yeah, it's still a smoldering just pile of shit.
I'm just saying that if they had let modders get their hands on it, they wouldn't have nearly as many lighting bugs.
Yeah.
Where Todd rays. Yeah, the Todd rays.
So yeah, we did that. I also this is another E3 promotion thing they did that we'll get into that, I guess, in the E3 talks.
No, let's just jump right into it. Just whip it on out.
Well, just about a big old E3 dick?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, whip it on out. It's E3. No, this is the E3 special, man.
This is the E3 special of the Half Baked Half Race show.
So there's no rhyme or reason. It's all E3 all the time. E3 baby.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off with Microsoft because we're not doing E3. Fuck E3.
No, EA.
Not EA. I'm sorry, EA.
Yeah,
we're doing E3.
Sony is fuck it. We're not doing E3.
Yeah, Sony just fucked off. So
so first of all, Sony
have anything for Sony.
Sony. Let's talk about Sony. Nothing. Fucking nothing.
It was literally nothing.
Literally nothing.
And then EA may as well have just been fucking nothing. I don't know why EA even did a thing. I don't know why
they like to waste money. I guess.
I don't know why they even did a stream. All they did was they could have just released a trailer for Jedi Fallen Order. And it would have accomplished about the same thing as their the actual stream they did.
I want to be a fly on the wall in the marketing department for EA where they have to do the marketing specifically for both FIFA and Madden. Why do those departments? Yeah, exactly. No, that's my thing. Is that they blow a shit ton of money every year on these games that come out every year.
It's like with every year, it's like I don't understand we're not making more money, guys. It's like we gotta put more microtransactions. It's like, well, maybe if you stop spending billions of dollars advertising for these games that, quite frankly, you don't need to advertise for because people are just going to buy them.
The only thing that changes from
even if you just said fuck it one year and just released like no number on it, like didn't put like a year number on it, just released FIFA and Madden. It's like, hey, these are now just service games. every year. We'll
People
just
want that.
update the rosters.
People want that.
But that would make them money, and we'll have all the microtransaction stuff in it still. But now you don't have to buy it every year.
Yeah, but
I don't know why. Like,
yeah,
I know why they don't do that because they want the $60 on top of all the microtransactions.
Yeah, right.
To like warrant, like, oh yeah, we had to update all the rosters, guys. That costs. It's like, no, it fucking doesn't. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10,
that MLB
well, 9 times out of 10,
right?
it's like you don't even have the likenesses for the. Like, you don't have like you have the names. A lot of times you don't actually have like the likenesses.
Yeah, you get like the poster
players.
person. Like and that's what I was gonna say. That's the only thing that really changes from year to year is that somebody gets to be on the cover of it. That's about it.
Yeah. And even then, fuck that person gets to be on the cover because of the Madden curse.
Yeah, right.
They usually ends up destroying their season.
Injuring them terribly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then FIFA, it's like, people are going to buy FIFA. They have no other soccer game to fucking buy.
They have no other football game to buy.
Yeah, so they're going to buy fucking FIFA.
Yeah. So, it's retarded. And quite honestly, it's antitrust, honestly.
Yeah.
It's anti-consumer, really.
No, it's super anti-consumer.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But it's like,
fuck sports
guys,
games.
we got to have all this money to keep up the licenses.
They have a contract. It's not even about, they don't pay for the licenses. They just have a contract.
I don't know.
It just gets extended.
I honestly don't know how it works.
No, it's just literally just a contract, a licensing contract. It's not like a yearly annual thing that they have to pay.
That's it. My notes are all out of sync until I get to the second page. Like, I just kind of started jotting down stuff into the second page. I should actually organize this. So yeah, the EA was just Jedi Fallen Order looks all right.
Mm.
That's because that's from Respawn has yet to put out an actually bad game. Respawn, the makers of Titanfall and Apex.
I mean, it looks fine.
Yeah, and I mean, have you read anything about how the combat works?
I read earlier today that they confirmed that you will not be able to dismember people with lightsabers.
Yeah,
and people got up in arms about that.
Disney.
Right, like I was just like I read that headline and I was like, are there still people who don't know that Disney owns Star Wars now? Because they're just not going to do. It's like, guys, I'm not a Star Wars fan. You know this. Everybody knows this.
Yes.
Here's two things I'm going to tell all the Star Wars fans that they need to just get over at this point. Not that it's right. I'm not agreeing with any of this. All I'm saying is that if you're a Star Wars fan, here's two things that you need to get over. No one's ever going to get their arm ever cut off by a lightsaber and have it actually shown, cauterized, and be gruesome like that ever again. And that whole slave bikini thing, that's never coming back.
Also never coming back.
They literally, like, the people who are the creative directors, like behind the scenes, not even the directors of the movie, the brand directors, they have pretty much come out and said, and I've seen these transcripts where it's just like, yeah, specifically the bikini Leia shit, we're not doing that anymore.
Oh yeah,
that's not a thing. We're not doing that anymore. Fuck off. We're not doing that. So there you go. Not getting any more. Nobody's getting cut up. No more slave bikinis.
Yeah,
so
very much.
If that's what you were there for Star Wars for, I'm sorry. You're getting porgs. Cool. That's what you're getting now.
Cool laser battles.
You get porgs.
I like cool laser battles.
I like the porgs.
I did not like the porgs. No, they're all right. It was an interesting solution to a problem.
What was the solution?
The island they were filming on, like
oh right, yeah.
Skellige had those like
little kiwis.
Yeah,
dumbass
species
birds.
of bird that was endangered, so they couldn't move them or even touch them. So it was like, just make them CG birds.
That wouldn't be the
CG birds.
That wouldn't be the first time that Disney murdered a whole bunch of animals.
Yeah, fucking lemmings.
Yeah.
But you read any more about the gameplay? It's kind of like a Souls game.
Yeah,
apparently in the game, like in the combat,
like
the way the combat works, apparently you have like a essentially a defense meter that drains, and if you time it properly, you can if you're fighting a melee opponent, if you time it properly, you'll parry them.
Mm-hmm.
If you time it properly for a ranged opponent, you'll deflect the bolt back at them, the shot back at them, and
it's very confusing to me. Because from what we've seen so far, it looks like there's a lot of mobility and a lot of movement possibilities. Because I see him grappling onto things. There was a part where he grinded down a rail or something like that with the robot.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of that in an open area. Like I get that. And see, this is what I don't like about.
I think it's
going
to be more very I think it's going to be pretty linear.
I think it's going to be pretty linear as well, but
because they canceled the open world game there.
Right. So I'm not saying that it has to be like a fucking hallway, but I like having option. And see, that's where you get into the buzzword territory as well, and that's the problem that I have with release trailers is that like they're showing you the core concept of the game.
Yeah.
They're not showing you what the game is actually going to look like, and a lot of people end up getting tied up with that. Like I'm still butt mad from the 2011 release trailer for BioShock Infinite.
Oh god,
that is a completely fucking different game. Like if you go watch that is a completely goddamn different game.
Oh no, it's just
the game got completely reworked like 6 months before it fucking came out. So that's my go-to for, keeping your expectations in check whenever you see these release trailers. It's just like that little text at the bottom where it says gameplay footage not final.
Yeah, not final.
They mean it.
Yeah, you should
take that with
a
chip on your shoulder. So what I mean is that like I have no problem with it being linear by any means. It's just that I would like to see it not be a hallway.
Yeah.
Because it seemed kind of, and again, it's probably because they just made a quick little thing real quick to make it up to the polished point. Be able to show.
I would compare it to, it's probably going to be, you'll probably have like at a certain point, you'll probably have like a little combat, like very much like Uncharted.
Sure.
Like where it is kind of linear, and then you'll have kind of like bigger, like
the level of linearity,
combat arenas, kind of deals.
The level of linearity of a Uncharted game. That's a great example there.
I imagine it's gonna be kind of like that.
So there you go. That's Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes,
we're gonna
the only worthwhile thing from EA this year.
Yeah, we're just gonna shotgun them all out because we got a lot of stuff to get through.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to Microsoft. Destroy All Humans remake.
You never played that one?
No, I did. I liked it. It's weird. It's one. Actually, I hate that. It's one of those things. Fucking EA again. Fucking kill one of my favorite developers. Because Pandemic used to be one of my favorite developers.
Right.
They made Destroy All Humans, the Mercenary series, the original Star Wars Battlefront series.
The Mercenary series was the one that hurt the most. Honestly,
that hurt my soul.
I still know.
I took soul damage from that.
Like I know that you were very much into that. I know a couple of our friends also. There's a number of people that I know in real life that still.
Mercenaries was probably, I would say, probably my top 5 games of that of like the PS2 Xbox generation.
It's a solid
Mercenaries
game.
Was probably up there.
If you have not played Mercenaries or Mercenaries 2,
that's just a good old time.
The ad campaign for Mercenaries 2 was just fucking brilliant.
No, that like I'll give them the ad campaign for Mercenaries 2 was like on point, but then the game was just like, wait, what? What is all?
It was pretty weird. Yeah.
What the fuck is all?
Yeah, they changed a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was real bad. Anyway, okay. So.
But anyway, let's not that fast.
Okay.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about because the Destroy All Humans is part of the triad of games that is coming out from THQ Nordic.
Yes.
Where they're remastering games. The other one we talked about last week or a week before, I don't remember, but we mentioned SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes.
Battle for Bikini Bottom out of fucking nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
That's one of them. Great game. They're completely different. What's the third game? Do you remember what the third game was? Or have they even announced the third game?
I don't know if they announced the third game.
Okay, so there's going to be another remastered game, I guess. Or maybe another IP, maybe. I don't know. THQ Nordic is making another game.
I'm trying to think of the THQ library. One thing that can
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
You're not going to be able to just do that out of memory. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on Destroy All Humans. It was a very fun game for the PS2.
I love Destroy All Humans.
It's a genre of game that doesn't really have a definition, I would say. I'd
it's
say
not
that it's a
fully open world.
I wouldn't even say that it has
because there's levels, but it's big. But they're big, wide, open levels.
I like to think of it as a chaos simulator.
Yeah,
that's what I would call it.
It was a very specific genre, specifically from like the PS2 era, where it's like, hey, this is an open world game. There's distinct levels, kind of like Sly Cooper 2 was too.
Sure.
Where it's like, hey, it's just a huge like hub, to go play around in.
Yeah.
And there's like missions to do within this hub,
and you can still do things in the hub.
Yeah.
But. So yeah, it's and the other thing too with that, in the same sense of Sly Cooper, is that there isn't really like there's lose states, but like it's really about just like going in there and just fucking shit up. And like especially more so in the Destroy All Humans deal, where it's just like, yeah, there's just a field of cows, just make everything explode.
Remake it. Is it complete like? Is it just an HD remaster, or is it a complete like remake?
I don't know what the situation is because I don't know. I don't even know what to call things anymore because after the Final Fantasy VIII. Situation, I guess. I don't know what to call it because
I guess that's a remaster, but yeah, like
you would have to call that a remake though because they lost like more than half of the master files for that. So I mean, they had to still remake it.
Yeah, we'll get
we'll get into that whenever we get into Square Enix, which Square Enix was Surprisingly,
sure, yeah.
For Square,
there was like three good. There was like three good.
For Square Enix. It doesn't even matter. It's like some of the stuff may have not appealed to us, but at least there was something there.
Oh no, most of the stuff didn't appeal to us, but
because we don't like the JRPGs.
No, so. I'm not a huge fan of the JRPGs.
Anyway, yeah, that's everything for what are we on now?
That was the story. Humans, Microsoft.
Yeah,
Microsoft.
So we're okay. We're in Microsoft.
I guess I haven't. I guess once again, my first page of notes is kind of just like all over the place.
Great,
but so Destiny 2 going semi free to play. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. So it's going to be but
essentially the base game and the first 3 DLCs completely free
right
now. And you'll just have to pay for the newest content.
There is a lot of stuff going on with Destiny 2.
And it's coming to Steam, so that's
there's a lot of stuff going on with Destiny 2, and a lot of it has to do with the other facts
that they broke free of Activision.
They've broken free of Activision early. Activision pretty much said, and it's very obvious what happened, which is just They don't.
You're not making us $50 billion a day to get the fuck out.
Not only that, but Activision's running into a very weird problem where they have too many conflicting IPs that are releasing way too close to each other.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
Well, they really have, that's also the problem. They barely have any IPs anymore. What, they have Call of Duty?
They have like a handful of IPs, but they're all very
IPs
similar.
Do Activision have anymore? They have Call of Duty. I guess if you want to count Sekiro.
Yeah.
Because that was an Activision game out of nowhere.
Like that was published by Activision.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know the situation, like they have the rights to it and all that kind of stuff or not.
It's a little bit different because they didn't get the full Activision treatment, right? So it's on PC, right?
Yeah.
Sekiro?
Yeah.
But it's on Steam.
Yes.
It didn't get just shoveled over to the Battle.net launcher.
Yeah.
And you can't get it anywhere else. So it's a little bit different there. I don't know what the situation is with that. But
I honestly cannot think of any other like Activision IPs besides Call of Duty.
World of Warcraft.
I'm talking about specifically Activision, not Blizzard Activision. I'm talking about specifically Activision. Exactly, yeah. Austin is making a very
concerned.
Oh fuck face.
So yeah,
I think Activision just put all their money into Call of Duties and just stopped investing in like anything else, and now it's kind of all they got. Besides for like the Blizzard side of it.
I'm honestly surprised that I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to just kind of work in the background on the games as a service thing and maybe starting to try and put together some services or something like that. But again,
maybe because that's where everything's honestly going. It's towards services.
Fuck that. I hate it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But yeah, speaking of Destiny 2, Stadia kind of got cucked a little bit.
Oh yeah, is it coming to Stadia?
Well, yeah. So you talked about it going free to play or semi free to play, and the problem is that that's also Stadia's like game. So like if you buy the Founders Edition of Stadia, you get Destiny 2 and all but the newest DLC, I think, for free.
Well, that's the deal on Steam, too.
Yeah, but I don't know if I think Stadia is getting that first, maybe.
Maybe
I don't know.
I
I'm still
I didn't
trying
look closely enough into it. Yeah.
Well, see, I did look into it close, and the problem is that the Stadia announcement was very confusing.
Yeah,
and it was confusing on purpose, I think, because I think they realized that their marketing is going to be a problem, because we've talked about this before, but Stadia is.
I'm still not sure if it's only a subscription service or if you can just buy games.
No, it's both.
Okay, so
it's both at the same time. So
it's both at the same time.
Yeah. So let me explain that. So here's the problem. This is the legalese and the weasel words and the wiggling around of it is that most people, whenever Google said, "Hey, we're going to make a streaming service for games that's like Netflix," and I'm not going to say that they use the term like Netflix.
Yeah, but
whenever
that's
you say a streaming service for games, people are going to think Netflix. Now, Netflix, you pay them $12 a month.
Blank amount of money a month.
You pay them blank amount of money per month, and then after that, you get to view all of their content.
Yeah,
that's not how Stadia works. Stadia, you're paying for the service to stream the games.
Okay,
and then you also have to buy the games.
Buy games on top of that.
So sure, you're paying $60.
Do any games come with the subscription?
Destiny 2, which that's what I meant by Destiny or Stadia got cucked by it, because they were like they made all the hubbub about fucking Destiny. And then it came out that everybody else gets that same deal.
That's not a good, because now because they're going to be going against. Well, now I had it on the docket too, but They're going against Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft, all at their own subscription-based services that just come with all of the games.
Right. Because they're publishers.
You can just download and play them.
So it's the same deal as what was worried about before, and it doesn't matter because we're still having problems with Netflix, with Disney, but now...
And then, well, I'm sorry to cut you off. And then even going against Microsoft, who is also going to be doing their own streaming thing.
Yeah. We're going to take a break real quick.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Okay. That's fine.
Hey, we're back.
Hey, hello.
Hey.
What the fuck were we talking about?
What were we talking about? That was a really long break. It's actually been 3 days.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think we were talking more about EA's, or no, we moved on to Microsoft. Let's continue with Microsoft's press conference. They're in a hard spot, Chris. They're in a hard spot because a lot of their exclusives are also going to be coming out on the PC. They also have been partnering up with Nintendo a little bit. Everybody was really worried, or not worried, but hoping that they were going to have more of a partnership where they were going to bring
specifically Game Pass to Nintendo.
That didn't
was
happen.
Not it.
That wasn't it, Chief.
No.
But on that same vein, though, if you want to tell everybody the new pricing plans for what's going on, they did bring Game Pass to the PC.
Yes, which
though,
I'm actually maybe a little bit hyped for.
Okay, it's definitely one of those things where it's like maybe I'm not like ripping my hair out hype, but I'm like okay.
Yeah, the hell, there's ever again one shot like, fuck, I'll put down $10 try a game.
We're already playing we're playing the Master Chief Collection on PC.
Well, I'll buy that. I'm
straight up buying that. I'll buy that full price.
Yeah, but isn't like so they're bringing Game Pass to PC. For $10, $10 a month. I'm sure if you want to pay for like a year of it or like probably like 3 months of it, you probably get some kind of discount. I don't know if they announced anything like that yet, but I'm sure that's how they'll do it. That's how most of the subscription services work. And then if you want to get Game Pass Ultimate, which is kind of a neat thing, which is like this will cover Game Pass for all your devices, like your Xbox, like everything. It's $15, so you're technically getting like $5 off.
Yeah,
if you get Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, they got a little bundle going on.
Yeah, so that's neat. And I think all your like stuff will just carry or somehow carry over. I think.
Oh really? Your saves carry over?
So. Maybe not your saves.
So does it cross save then?
I don't think it's cross. I think it's just cross play. Maybe. Okay. I think they're like first party stuff. Maybe if you have it on Xbox, but I guess that would make sense because it's all one subscription.
I don't know. It's always amalgamous there. I do want to talk about the future of another Microsoft IP, Minecraft, real quick.
God, yeah. That's on the dot. Yeah, that's.
Did you write that down? Yeah, wrote that down. You want to crack open that bad boy real quick?
Oh, Minecraft Dungeons. It's just Diablo.
It's like the Minecraft team. Diablo. It's like the Minecraft team was just sitting there and they watched fucking
Minecraft Diablo.
They watched the Diablo Immortal launch or release. Or press conference or whatever, and they went, "Oh, we need to just capitalize on this."
Yeah.
The most egregious part of it is the fact that the Minecraft IP has literally nothing to do with the game.
No,
you could literally
that could have been any game.
That could have been anything.
Yeah, that could have been.
It couldn't have been. No, it couldn't have been any game because it's only one game. It's Diablo.
Yes.
So it's literally just.
They could have slapped on any coat of paint on that.
It's really smart whenever you think about it because it's Diablo for kids. It's a family-friendly Diablo. And more importantly, and this is the sad fucking truth.
And kids will play it because kids are like, I like the Minecraft.
This is the sad fucking truth, is that anytime you see anything that's like just family-friendly, it's also good for China.
Yeah.
Because of the censorship.
Yeah.
As long as that's why Destiny...
No. You can't play that in China. There's skeletons in it.
Oh, that's true. Damn, China's retarded. China's fucking retarded.
They'll reskin all those skeletons.
What if they just make them black? I think that's how...
Ghosts.
Is that how WoW did it? They just made the skeleton, like the bones, black, and that made it okay.
Maybe, or they just put something. I don't know.
God,
I don't think you can have zombies.
Oh my god!
In China, maybe. I don't know the exact limitations.
That's so stupid.
But I don't think you can have zombies.
So dumb.
Zombies or ghosts, even in China.
Yeah, I think the actual verbiage is like something like you cannot show the remains or like any sort of like any sort of corpse, allusions to corpses.
Yeah,
like you not even show like any kind of allusion to human death at all. Which is retarded. Like that's on the same level as like, like the German censorship back in the day. Like they got way better now about it. But like back in the day, it was like, oh no, they're all robots and they have green blood, and it's like, okay,
mm-hmm.
And
shut up.
And are you playing a World War II game? Yeah, no, just none of that.
None of that.
None of that. We're not even going to reference.
Not even slightly.
We're not even going to talk about that.
No guten Tag for you.
So yeah, that was a steaming turd.
Yeah. Then they showed that Blair Witch game. Look,
the what?
That Blair Witch game. Look, all right.
No.
They had any actual gameplay for it.
So I'm biased on this. I'm just gonna hard opinion here. Hard opinion coming up. I fucking hate Blair Witch Project.
I mean, that's
it was terrible.
I'm not gonna play because I just don't like horror.
It was a bad movie, and if you do any research into the hype surrounding the Blair Witch Project, it was all based on just marketing.
Oh yeah,
and it was all based on
10 out of 10 marketing.
Them just fucking lying and being pieces of shit, and it's dumb. And it's not even that like I think that that's immoral or anything like that. I just think that it's very lazy.
Yeah, like that was
10 and it's just not even good.
Like marketing team.
And then they made a sequel, and it was even worse.
Yeah, aliens.
Because aliens. So the other thing that was in Microsoft, so we're gonna hop on over to something good in Microsoft, is that Forza got some fucking hype DLC coming out.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I forgot to put that
fucking
out. Yeah,
Lego
motherfucker.
DLC. That just looks fucking great.
Fun. This is like a fun time.
And I'm pretty sure they're just gonna have Everything Is Awesome by the Lonely Island just as the theme song.
Yes,
which they should.
They should.
And it's great. So that's just a good time.
That's a good time.
That's a good time.
Also, other like surprising news out of Microsoft. Fantasy Star Online 2.
Yeah,
courtesy of Microsoft.
Yeah, just
coming to PC and Xbox.
They have attained the unattainable. They have Western release for fucking Fantasy Star Online 2.
Fantasy Star Online 2, which we are all which we are all super hyped about.
Yeah, I don't even know.
We've been wanting to play that for like the 6 years that game has been out.
I don't even know anything about Fantasy Star Online, and I'm going to play that with y'all.
No, that's just going to be the new. This is going to be a good time.
Yeah, you think they're going to charge a subscription?
No idea.
Yeah,
I don't know if it has one. I think it might be. it might be free to play.
I know they're going to do it. They're going to just monkey ball. They're going to monkey ball that shit, dude.
In the Japans, it might be free to play.
They're going to monkey ball that shit. So
I got that. Of course, they talked about the new console. And it's like it's going to be more powerful. It's like no shit. It's like
it's just like whenever they talk about
and say you're going to have a console that was as powerful as the new console you had. I always was like, oh, it's more powerful. It's got twice the power. It's like, yeah, okay, and obviously,
it's like Nintendo coming out. And it's like we're gonna release our next gen console, and it's gonna be comparable to the Nintendo, to the Sony PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Oh wait, that's true.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I wanted to touch on real quick was Gears of War. Seems to be leaning a little bit too heavy into it for my taste.
I don't know about the Gears.
I don't know if it's
I haven't played one. I haven't really sat down and played through one since 2. Besides the time that our friend Trey made me and our other friend Kendall, he made us play through the co-op.
Oh my god!
He held us hostages because we won. I think Batman Arkham City had just come out. We went to the midnight premiere for that.
Oh my god!
We went to the midnight premiere for that.
Yeah.
And we, like before we went up there, we were playing it. We came back. He was like, "No, but y'all keep playing that." I was like, "Well, this is it's like we want to watch you play Batman." It's like, "No, y'all keep playing Gears." It's like,
keep playing Gears.
But it's like, but Trey really want to like watch Batman. It's like
that's why we're here.
No, y'all keep playing Gears, and then we'll play Batman after. It's like, but Trey, we fucking beat that game.
It's not that.
And it was not that good.
No, it's just not. It's just kind of mind numbing. It's the most game that I can think of. It's the most generic fucking third person cover shooter.
Yeah. Man,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
It just wasn't,
no, like sometimes you just want to come home and fucking crack open a beer and fucking play some Gears of War.
Just simply because I was like, I want to watch Arkham City.
So I'm gonna tell my Gears story real quick. I don't know if I ever told you this story.
Oh yeah, the one in the movie theater. Yeah, you know.
So I'll retell it here for all of our listeners, all 3 of them.
For posterity's sake.
Yeah, for posterity's sake. Yeah, I worked in a movie theater, and one night we decided it'd be really cool if we hooked up an Xbox 360 to the projector, since we got digital projectors finally. And it was really cool, and I was watching one of the managers play Gears of War 3, I think it just come out. And that's whenever I learned that
I don't know, this was Gears 1.
What?
I'm really talking about this.
Oh, this is Gears 1?
Yeah, it's Gears 1. I remember you telling the story it was Gears 1, yeah.
Well, then Gears 1 isn't that good. Because
it was basic. It was pretty basic.
Just yikes. No, I was watching him play that, and I was just like, why are you so bad at video games? Because he was just sitting there dying over and over again. And
oh, wait, no, was there like glowing spots on the... Okay, this was Gears 3 then.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. It was Gears 3. Because my whole thing is that, like, speaking of the glowing spots, that's the punchline of the story, is that he just kept on dying because he just wouldn't hit the yellow spots. And I was like, I leaned over and I was like, hey, man, you want to
shoot those glowing?
You want to shoot the glowing? Maybe you shoot
giant glowing obvious weak points.
I just don't understand. Like, it was just one of those moments again.
He didn't have any game logic.
It was one of those moments again, and we always have this conversation of just like, I think the playtesters just made this a worse game. And then to just see somebody in real life where it's just like, oh, you're the person that would have been the playtester.
Yeah.
Just being retarded. So, what else happened?
They showed off Halo Infinite a little bit. There's still no gameplay, which I'm really upset about. It's just like this game's supposed to come out like next year. Why else?
So does that mean? So then that would mean that. Well, so wait.
Oh, no, it's 100% confirmed that it is going to be a story.
Okay. Let's pump the brakes then. Let's talk about this logically. Does that still mean that it might have gotten pushed back then? Because here's my thing, man. If they confirmed, the only thing that they confirmed, and correct me if I'm wrong, the only thing that they confirmed is that Halo Infinite is a launch title for Scarlet.
Yeah.
They didn't reconfirm that it was coming out next year.
No, Scarlet's coming out next year. They said that.
Okay, so they did say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Right,
said
I just wanted to clarify that.
Coming out holiday 2020.
Because, man, sometimes you get some
yeah, I'll also
words.
mention that about yeah, it's coming out next year.
Okay, great.
Sony's whatever. I'm sure it's going to be the PS5, PlayStation 5.
It's going to be the PS5.
Should also be coming out next year.
It's going to be the PlayStation Infinite.
That'd be
or just the PlayStation.
I'd be fine with that because it's supposed to be backwards, but might only be backwards compatible with
PS4.
They need way more information about that.
No, they need to at the very least be backwards compatible with the PS4 and play them better. They have confirmed that it is backwards compatible with the PS4 because that's where the little bit that we do know about the PS5 or whatever the fuck it's going to be, PlayStation's next console, is that the loading times are incredibly better. They're based on an SSD.
Yes.
They showed
Scarlet
load
has
times.
that too. I think Scarlet said that too.
Yeah, they started showing load times.
I thought it was hilarious.
Stuff.
They was like, oh, we're getting like the part of the presentation when they're showing off Scarlet, we're like, oh, we're seeing frame rates we've never seen before. Yeah, we're getting up to 120 frames per second on some of these games. It's like
PC.
It's like I'm currently watching this on a 144 hertz monitor.
Yeah. You fucking plebs. You fucking plebs.
Get on my level, consoles. So I thought that was hilarious. Michael showed off some cool indies. I don't remember any of them. I know they showed off some cool. I remember they showed off some indies. I was like, yeah, I might play that.
So we're gonna get a little meta here.
Microsoft always does that.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little meta here.
Indie sizzle reel.
The favorite time to go get up and go to the bathroom during the indie sizzle reel.
For any of the conferences.
Yeah. Pick any of them. And the other thing is that also is just like either that like all the indies in the indie sizzle reel fall into three categories. Either it already came out and they're trying to fucking push it again, which is fine.
That was Square Enix.
Yeah, that was that was the bad part about Square Enix is that they were just like
I was like
half this shit's already out.
All these games are already out.
All these games are already out
now.
So B, the second option is that they actually never come out. They're just fucking they're glorified tech demos and they're just vaporware and like the companies don't actually even fucking exist that are making them. It's probably like all a fucking tax fraud thing. And then C, they're actual games and you just see them for like 5 seconds. You're like, even though I've only seen this for 5 seconds, I don't want to play this. I don't care.
This just looks like not my kind of game.
Well, because you just get to the point where you're like, I only have so much time to play games. It's just like, I'm not going to be that guy who's like, I love video games in general. I just want to play as many games.
Every single one. I gotta work, man.
No, I gotta work, and I'm not gonna fucking.
Maybe we ever get this podcast off the ground, and this can maybe become our careers. Then yeah, sure, we'll have all the time in the world to play video games because this will be our job.
Fuck no, I hate video games.
Okay,
that's
fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, moving on. Next thing.
Tell us about Elite Controller 2. Whoop you fucking do.
Why would you show an Elite Controller whenever you're coming out with a new console?
I'm sure it'll be with that. I mean, the biggest thing about it was like now it has Bluetooth finally integrated into it. That's probably the biggest, honestly, thing about it.
Does it still have? Do you still need to pop in AA batteries in the back of it?
Probably.
Xbox, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Just and see, okay. So I'm gonna pause right there though.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I saw a meme earlier where it was just like an Xbox owner going into a PlayStation 4 owner's house and like seeing all the things. Like one of the things was
that Ace Ventura?
Yeah, it was Ace Ventura. So you saw the one that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that was making the rounds today, and that was the meme where the video r/gaming meme of the day, I guess. Yeah, for fucking Reddit.
Oh boy.
But it was very funny to me to see that like that's the shade that they're throwing at. It's like the DualShock 4 has like a battery life of like 3 fucking hours because that huge light on the front of it.
Yeah.
Even the newer ones.
Get rid of that for PS5.
Just please, for the love of God, get rid of that.
Because I love the PlayStation controller. It's what I use for my PC controller. And like I don't even have the PlayStation 4. I just have the controller.
I just have all the controllers, and I I just arbitrarily swap between them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use PS4, sometimes I use Xbox. I don't know. But
so over the PS5, you're told they're just like, hey, we got rid of this stupid fucking light that only is for aesthetic purposes.
right.
It was gonna be for something else, and then they just no game.
It got
ever
used in
utilized
Destiny 1, and that was it.
That. Yeah,
And they thought they were so cool, and I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I did with it was I turned it down as low as it would go. I've actually seen people
because we're using it on PC. You have to have like essentially a third party program
Sure.
for the most part.
Yeah,
I
you
usually just turn that off.
Yeah, you just turn that off. My favorite thing was that I actually heard people like opening up the controller and like finding the wire that goes to that and just cutting it.
Just cutting it.
And it's just like, because you get so much more battery life out of it. Because it's just an LED that's always on.
It's just
it's
always
huge.
on. It'd be different if there was even an option in the PS4 menu to turn that light off.
You can just dim it.
Nope.
Welcome to 1984. You can't turn it off. Fuck you. You're gonna. This is a valuable thing, just like the touchpad. Just like the touchpad. Never got used.
Okay. So I guess keep going. Microsoft. Microsoft owns Double Fine now. I just threw my pencil.
Yeah. Surprise. Microsoft owns Double Fine. You
Yeah,
thought you were gonna get Psychonauts 2. Guess what? Now you actually will because they're gonna be held accountable by a publisher.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's nothing but a net positive, honestly.
Yeah.
Tim Schafer has proven over and over again that he needs some fucking corporate overlord holding a gun to his head saying, no, Tim, fucking release the game.
Yeah.
Fucking finish the game and fucking release it. I am so excited. I'm so excited for Psychonauts 2. I'm going to fucking play the shit out of it. I kind of want to play the first one again, but
I need to play the. I only ever actually played through it once. I need to play through the first one. Oh
man, yeah. It's so good.
Okay, we're talking about now Halo gameplay again. I get it looks neat. I think I don't. I just want to know what it's supposed to be because they keep saying it's like, oh, it's going to revolutionize what Halo is. It's like, Halo, great. I wish I could see that.
So here's my thing with this. It's another thing where it's just like, dude, the people who are going to buy this game are already going to buy it in droves. You might as well show this as like Halo Infinite next year at next year's E3. They're going to show nothing but gameplay for it because guess what? Yeah, it's going to be the tech demo for Scarlet.
Yeah,
that's what it is, and that's why they can't show anything, and that's why their E3 press conference wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah,
because they just can't show anything because it's retarded.
I guess.
And that's not even.
Just
a good
want to show them shooting the gun for like 5 seconds. All
yeah. Just show it. That's not all you want. You just want to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, they gotta do something with the story after the story. 5 does not end well. I didn't even play 5. I just looked up the story for it. It does not. The story just kind of.
It's a story ripped from the headlines. Of
story just
AI
gets real
just
dumb.
going. It's a story of the AI wanting to kill all of humanity, and then Microsoft naming their AI assistant Cortana.
Yeah, it got real.
Bad move.
Story got real.
Bad move.
Okay, so then motherfucking George R. R. Martin. From Software to make the Elden Ring.
The Elden Ring, and they showed.
I'm excited.
They showed a trailer. It looks like fucking Dark Souls 3.
Essentially just a tone trailer.
It looks like Dark Souls 3.
Well, I also do, and like looking at it, I was like, well, Dark Souls usually is Dark Souls is a very downer universe.
Sure.
Where it's like usually, I think, well, yeah.
Are you about to say that George R. R. Martin stuff isn't a downer universe? Because
well, no, this time actually looks like it might be. Well, essentially,
there's a dude disintegrating.
I mean, yeah, but not George, Vadi Vidya, the famous YouTuber who does all Dark Souls.
The guy
shit.
who's saved because they're making another Dark Souls.
They're making another Dark Souls.
He is just constantly on the brink of just losing his channel.
But yeah, he pretty much did analysis of it. I kind of agree with it. Whereas like Dark Souls usually kind of tends to focus on the worthlessness of the self.
Sure.
Where this one almost seems like everybody's kind of seems like actually be like looking and like everybody seems to like look down and like look dour and sad and like Dark Souls promotional art. Like everybody's like on like the ground, like slumped over.
Dejected.
Yeah, dejected. Whereas this one, everybody looks like they're looking up. Like looking
or
up.
Are you saying this is gonna be like a hype fuck you
they seem
punch
to
in
be
the
like
face anime game?
They seem to be like hopeful and like heroic.
Oh, okay.
Instead of like down and like so it seems like
maybe a tonal shift on both ends.
So maybe it seems like a tonal shift.
Maybe that's what happened. George R. R. Martin talked to fucking Miyazaki and was just like, "Hey, you want to write like not something that just makes you want to kill yourself?" And he's like, "Yeah."
So yeah, so it seems to be like this is going to focus on more like heroic like heroes instead of like pieces of shit. Because Dark Souls 3, the entire game, they're just like, man, you're just a piece of shit. You weren't even good enough to fucking attempt to light the fire, you piece of shit.
You're
you go
literal
fuck yourself.
Ash.
Yeah, you're just a piece of fucking shit.
And it's okay because everybody else is a fucking piece of shit too.
It's like all the people that were good enough, they fucked off. You know what? And we tried to get other people to go get them. They couldn't do it. So you know what? We're down to you now. That's how bad shit's gotten. We're down to you, you piece of fucking trash.
And what does that say about us? We're terrible too. We're fucking terrible. I don't know who we are, but like,
so Dark Souls 3 starts, it's like, oh.
Yeah, you just start and you're like, I feel bad. I just feel bad.
Jeez.
And then the game slaps your shit. So then you feel bad in real life.
So hopefully Elden Ring will be a bit of a tonal shift. It actually feel good playing a Dark Souls style game.
Sure.
It's probably supposed to be a bit more open world with because they had there's horse riding and stuff in it. Because apparently it's a much bigger world.
Okay.
This time I don't know if it's gonna be full on open world Witcher 3 open world,
I'm fine.
or it's just gonna be a much bigger areas. I would say almost you ever played Darksiders or Darksiders 2? Where it's essentially you go to different dungeons and there's different stuff to do. It's a big map,
right?
But it's still relatively linear.
Sure.
Yeah, kind of like a Zelda. Yeah,
like a Zelda, one of the older Zeldas, not Breath of the Wild. Yeah. So, and we'll get to Nintendo in a minute. But which one did you want to go to next?
I think that is there's one more thing for Microsoft. I know my notes here. Elden Ring.
I don't know. You have your notes.
Oh, motherfucking Keanu Reeves and Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Love you, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu.
He's having just a good old time up there.
Keanu is making some fucking money right now.
Yeah.
A lot.
Good for him. Keanu Reeves is amazing.
He had a lot to catch up on, and he just decided to do it all in 1 year.
Yeah.
I guess because
I'm fine with.
He is making $1 gazillion. So he looks like he's going to be an AI ghost thing that just kind of follows you throughout the game.
I'm fine with that.
He's like a hologram or something.
I don't know. I think he's a real person.
Not okay.
I think talking about those glitches you saw when I think that's just your vision glitching.
Yeah, or whatever.
That's probably just your face glitching out. Yeah,
your ass kicked.
You're the courier from a New Vegas.
Well, I'm curious. The only reason why I say that is because I'm curious to know how much of a fucking role
he's gonna actually play.
Because dude, he's a AAA actor. How much screen time?
I don't know. They got fucking John. We'll talk about this later in the years. They got John Barenthal and fucking Ghost Recon. So
yeah, that's true too. And that might have been a bad idea, but we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah,
for a good reason.
For a good reason. Yeah. But
so
Keanu Reeves, I'm very much looking forward to that. I think he's already brought up a good point of they can play this two ways. A, he's just a guy. He's hey, we're gonna go fuck up, get some revenge. And the other way is do it he's playing a character. The other way to do it is hey, what's your name? It's I'm Keanu. it's just Keanu Reeves.
I did find it funny that he makes fun of your character for having the word samurai on his jacket. He's just yeah, come on, samurai.
You wake the fuck up, samurai. Yeah. So yeah, very very hype about that. Very excited.
Kind of want to make that my my alarm now. It's just that sound clip. Just wake the fuck up, samurai.
We got a city to burn.
They also made a better trailer. I don't know if you noticed this, but it was nighttime.
Yes.
Which means everybody can shut the fuck up.
No, there's still people freaking out about it. We're not going to get into that though because it gets into kind of political shit. But people are still freaking out. Just go look it up later. People are still freaking out.
You'll just tell me this later whenever I'm drinking, and I can actually just laugh it off instead of wanting to kill myself.
Okay,
so go on.
Okay, so
how many bottles of water do you have?
That's not much.
Okay, mystery bottle of water.
Mystery bottle of water. Yeah, don't drink that.
Don't drink that.
Don't drink the
mystery
probably
bottle.
Vodka. So now let's move on from a pretty decent press conference to a good press conference to just a utter heap of shit.
Oh,
that was the Bethesda conference.
Yeah, we got to talk about Bethesda.
What the fuck was that conference?
Bethesda. So we're going to talk about some meta stuff again real quick. I just want to touch on this real quick, and I know you want to touch on it as well. Yeah. And I feel like Bethesda is the jump-off point to talk about this problem that we had with this E3. I feel like a lot of people had this problem with this E3. There was way too many people in the crowds that seemed like they were planted, that were yelling.
Oh, yeah.
And
this has been a problem the last couple of years.
This year it was egregious.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
Case in point, nobody fucking cares about Fallout 76.
No
one cares about Fallout 76. They have an uphill battle.
Said, hey, we're attempting to fix this game. Please just stick with it.
So I refuse to believe that there is some dude in the balcony who just loses his shit every single time the directors of that game said anything.
Yeah.
They couldn't even say anything half the damn time.
Yeah.
Without him just going,
bad.
whoa! So
it's
also,
it was really egregious at the
Fallout
Microsoft,
76.
at the Bethesda press conference.
They decided to make memes be dreams, and they just went ahead and fucking did it. Fallout 76 now has a battle royale mode.
Yep.
Nuclear winter.
It's like, man, you thought we could barely get a fucking like co-op multiplayer game to work? We might need to try that just to see how bad.
Well, we gotta jump into it. We've only been doing the main,
we've only been doing
the
like
main
the main
stuff, I
game,
guess you want to call it. Well, we're not even doing the quest. We've just been fucking
we're
around
not
killing
buying
shit.
That game.
Fuck no, not for $30.
Let's just go fucking just run around and just see the trash right of this game.
Here's my other problem: is there's just like how can one company continue to be so tone deaf? Like, are they trying at this point?
It's because they can't come out and say, "Hey, the game was a pile of shit. We're sorry." I mean, they kind of
you decided to make
said,
it.
"Hey, we understand the game had problems." It was like, no, the game was just broken when it came out. You needed to
but here's my other thing.
I mean, I was like, honestly, at least they did better than EA because EA didn't even acknowledge Anthem at E3. They didn't even acknowledge it.
I don't even know what to say about
So
it.
at least I'll give credit to Bethesda. They at least acknowledged their game was just fucking broken.
To touch on
and
that
they're
real quick.
trying to fix it.
To touch on Anthem real quick, I'm nervous. Like if you're one of the 3 people still playing that game, I got bad news for you, man. With them not even acknowledging it at their press conference, that pretty much tells me that
they're probably either
they're like 1 or 2 steps
soon,
away from just dropping
or
it.
just doing like full reboot on it or something. I don't know.
If they want to do anything with, which I imagine they're going to have to do a Realm Reborn type situation with it.
At this point,
because they invested way too much in the fucking development of that game.
Oh, way too much.
Way too much.
Billions.
Speaking of way too much investment and then just not doing anything and also being tone deaf, I wanted to touch on this. It's like, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but they're a little late to the Battle Royale party.
Oh, yeah.
We're about like a year out to the point where it's like there's people who play Fortnite.
It's one of those things. We've talked about it before. There's room for fucking 3, maybe. Like in any given genre like that, there's room for 3. There's the main one that's like the big hot shit.
That's your Fortnite.
That everybody plays.
Not everybody. No. The audience that you were never going to get in the first place.
Yes.
The fucking little teeny boppers who don't even fucking play games really.
Yeah, they just play that one.
They just play that one game.
Yeah,
because everybody else is playing
Call of
that
Duty
game.
back in the day. Now it's shifted to Fortnite.
Right.
Then there's gonna be like the weird, like the slightly weirder, like a lot of people play the weirder niche game. That's your what's
Apex Legends.
Well, Apex Legends / that's why I said there's room for 3.
Yeah.
The Apex Legends / Battlegrounds.
Sure. Oh God,
Player
PUBG is still a thing.
Yeah, PUBG. Yeah.
Dude, I don't.
And a ton, like PUBG doesn't get talked about, but a ton of people do still play PUBG. That's why I said there's room for 3. After those 3, it's like, congratulations, you're getting scraps. Like you're not going to get anywhere near the audience that these other games have gotten.
You're not going to get any attachment rate. You'll get people to play them, but people aren't going to attach to them.
They're going to they might play it for like a week or 2. They go back. Well, I'm just going to go back to play the main game.
It was the same problem as you
that have all this progress and that have like actual like attachment to.
Yeah, you already brought it up. I mean, the fact of the matter is that the Call of Duties back in the day, you had the dude bro shooters. They made a fuck ton of shooters. During the early PS3 and all that shit, that was nothing but shooters. And you had Resistance, you had stuff like that. You had Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that blew up big. But here's the thing, is that there were a ton of shooters, and there was a shit ton of them that were just shovelware, essentially. Yeah. In the sense of, nobody was fucking playing them. No. Like, people would buy them, but people weren't playing them.
No, especially online.
But back then, it didn't matter, because as long as they got your $60, they didn't care.
That's why to this day, it was an interview. I wish I could remember what the developer it was. They were making a shooter of some kind. And I think they it came out and I was like, oh, it's not gonna have multiplayer. And like in the interview, they were like, why does your game have multiplayer? And like they straight up says like, look, man, like people might play our multiplayer for like a week or 2, then they're just gonna go back to playing like Halo or Call of Duty. It's just like they're like we're not gonna waste development resources on this thing that nobody's gonna stick around in.
It's very weird.
That the community is just going to die in like 2 weeks later.
Because there was a lot of problems.
So I wish Doom would just drop the multiplayer. It's like nobody gives a shit about that multiplayer.
Stop dumping resources into a mode that no one's going to play.
Yeah. Like, so, what instead of doing competitive multiplayer? Fuck, man, you know what people would much rather have in Doom? Fucking competitive multiplayer. Fucking co-op multiplayer, yeah.
Yeah, co-op multiplayer.
I'm dying soon.
Yeah, because here's the thing, especially with Doom as an example. Here's my thing with that is that people already have a competitive multiplayer in the realm of Doom. It's called fucking Quake.
Yeah,
it's called Quake, and you fucked it up. You fucked up Quake.
Bethesda
fix it.
Thanks, Bethesda.
Yeah, thanks, Bethesda.
So it's just what the fuck was that Bethesda conference?
Yeah, that's how I can sum it. Like if anyone, like if we're going back to the tried and true meme of report cards here, Bethesda's an F. We're not even going to grade the rest of them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even grade the rest of them. I don't even care. I don't want to grade them. But Bethesda, I just want them to know that they have just a solid F minus. Just terrible.
And they showed off that other, what was that other game? Ghostlight Tokyo.
Sure, they have 2 IPs coming. I don't give a fuck.
Was could be okay.
No, again, yeah, that's great. It's like cool. This is
they didn't show any gameplay for
They didn't show
them,
any game.
yeah.
You showed me 2 fucking.
They showed off DLC for Rage 2. It's just like, who gives a flying
right
fuck
there?
about that?
People already played the game. It's done. It's over. They're done. Yeah, there's gonna be some people out there who are like, oh fuck yeah, I love Rage.
Yeah,
and they're gonna play that DLC. I'm gonna give them a generous of no, not realistically like 2,000. I'm gonna say 2,000, but that's a minuscule drop in the bucket as opposed to like who fucking bought the game. Which I don't know if that game even sold well.
As far as I know, it didn't because like I said, there's that week where I was like, wait, Rage 2 came out,
right?
Like.
Because again, they have too many fucking similar IPs.
And then for whatever reason, Bethesda not doing a subscription, Bethesda doing for some reason like a weird streaming thing, which I still don't understand because they didn't explain it.
I don't think they understand it. I think
they're just like, oh, it'll somehow our streaming thing will somehow make your other streaming apps run better.
I have a theory
it's like,
about that.
What?
I have a theory about that. I don't think that they're actually doing jack shit with it. I think that they straight up just said buzzwords to make the investors not tank their stocks.
Probably. So yeah, I think Bethesda's just like, hey,
they're like, hey, streaming, we're doing streaming.
We got a streaming thing. We got
a streaming thing.
Please give us more money.
And we're gonna make your games faster.
All leave.
Yeah, we're gonna make your games faster, and it'll play on Xbox Scarlet. It eats monsters for breakfast.
Yeah, it was real bad.
That was real.
What was the other new IP they showed off at Bethesda? I don't remember.
There was the
Ghostlight Tokyo.
Deathloop.
That looked okay.
I guess.
And once again, no gameplay show.
Again,
but
my thing is that it's a brand new IP, and it's just like you already have Bethesda. Why are you trying to make so many fucking different IPs? Rage, in and of itself, that was the other thing. There was 2 things that people said whenever Rage 2 came out. The first one was what we just joked about. Rage 2 came out.
Yeah,
and then the other one was why? No one wanted this. Literally, no one wanted this. Yeah. The first Rage was written off as an experiment into what if Doom was semi-open world.
Yeah, essentially.
And it was an experiment that didn't sell well.
Doom/Quake, yeah.
Doom/Quake, yeah. The id first-person shooter. Or id software first-person shooter semi-open world. And it didn't work. And people didn't buy it. And they tried for a second one, and it did okay. And you can tell me that it's a good game. That's fine. And if you enjoy it, that's fine. But why? Why are you fucking pumping money into this whenever you can just make Doom better? I mean, you can just make Quake not a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
Because there's already the reason why you have Bethesda fans and they're not fans of Bethesda. And I was getting angry with Bethesda because they carted out, they carted out all this id software shit, and they're like, "Yep, we're the reason why you love all these games." And it's like, no, you're fucking dancing on id's corpse.
Yeah, the fucking Commander Keen.
Let's talk about Commander fucking Keen, dude.
I forgot about that and write it down until you're writing about that. Yeah,
the
fucking Commander Keen mobile game.
Yeah, it's a mobile game, and it's a fucking steaming pile of shit.
Yeah,
it made me want Bethesda to just go out of business. To be perfectly honest, I would love nothing more than for John Romero just out of nowhere just get fucking id. Just get id out of fucking Bethesda. John Romero gets it, and then John Carmack finally gets Facebook.
I'd rather have John Carmack come back. John Romero's a little crazy person. So.
Hear me out here. John Romero gets it, and then John Carmack sees that shit, and then he's just like, I gotta go. I can't be at Facebook anymore.
Like, I
gotta go take care of this. I gotta go take care of this. I gotta go put on a fucking stupid ass wife beater, and I gotta go take a shitty picture in our hotel room where we're making fucking Doom.
Yeah, so
damn, they are just fucking raping Commander Keen, man. It is terrible.
I forgot to mention the Microsoft thing. I mean, I'd rather mention the Microsoft show. They show off the new Battletoads, which at least looks like may not be good. At least it looks like somewhat faithful to the original Battletoads.
Here's my thing.
May or may not be good, but at least it looks like yep, that looks like a Battletoads.
Here's my thing.
Whereas this Commander Keen thing is like this just isn't even close to what that game used to be.
Yeah. So here's my thing about the Battletoads thing. Here's what I'm going to posit to you, and it's slightly negative, and I know it's somewhat of a wrong opinion, and it's just my opinion. There's certain genres of games that have not made the leap into the current era yet.
Beat 'em ups.
beat 'em ups are not one. Like beat 'em ups are still.
There's also a new Streets of Rage coming out,
and that's fine. And maybe they'll innovate enough to where that's. But here's my thing: is that if you want to play Battletoads didn't go anywhere. Yeah. You can still play Battletoads. You can still get fucking frustrated on that goddamn third level.
God damn that fucking third level.
And just fucking get your shit pushed in by that third level, and that's fine. You can also play Streets of Rage. You can also play any of the beat 'em ups from before.
Especially Streets of Rage with that Sega console coming out. That Sega classic.
Exactly.
Once again, I still think it might be the first one I actually buy.
So it's just like, why? Why do I want to play this new Battletoads? Are you doing anything different? Are you innovating on the beat 'em ups genre at all?
Yeah, is it just a prettier Battletoads?
And that's whenever you get into the problem is that aesthetic changes
because really that new Streets of Rage game, they actually are doing some new stuff,
and that's what I heard as well.
It's like okay, cool.
And so I'm interested to see what they do with that. I'm not super familiar with that, so I won't talk on that right now. But I want to focus on Battletoads for a second. It's just my problem is that just changing the aesthetic style, that's not going to win you. Like that's like making a binary choice, and then like half the people are going to just not like it if you're lucky. Like it might even be more than half. Luckily, if you are lucky, you know, it's less than half the people. Maybe some people do like it, but here's my thing, man, is that it's just like I don't really care for the new art style for Battletoads. It seems a little busy, and it's kind of hard to discern what's going on.
But I mean, I don't know. It could be cool. I'd have to wait and see.
Sure.
Because they just kind of showed like it was part of like their indie sizzle reel kind of thing. So I don't know.
The sad truth is, and this is what I'm going to cap off for this discussion about Battletoads, is that I think it's very, very sad that we live in a day and age where GameStop might go out of fucking business before they get trolled with asking for Battletoads whenever it actually exists.
God damn it.
And there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
What a sad... This is the wrong timeline.
This is the wrong timeline. This is the wrong timeline, truly. So, let's keep it moving.
Okay.
Keep them on moving. Bethesda, fuck you.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're
Doom
going to...
Eternal looks great.
Yeah, Doom Eternal looks good.
You're doing good.
I need to finish playing through the first Doom, especially now that I have a graphics card where I can actually run it.
Whoever's working on Doom, all those people, fire everyone else. Fire fucking everyone else. Keep all the Doom staff. Go back to your roots. Fucking just let id, like, just I don't even know if it's id now that's working on Doom primarily. I don't know, because they just swap all the fucking different teams all over the place, like you saw with Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Fire them. Just close all those extra fucking superfluous goddamn Bethesda studios. Just fuck it. Just get out of there. Just cut your losses.
Bethesda's a major publisher now. Also.
They're not. It's bad. I don't like it.
Get all these other games.
It's terrible. Fucking just
get them out. Get the money for the investors.
Blades is getting a fucking Switch port.
Yeah.
I feel like that game hasn't even...
Thank you for reminding me of that.
That game hasn't even realistically launched.
Pile of diarrhea.
That game hasn't even realistically launched. And yet I cannot force myself to even give an iota of a fuck about it.
Yeah. Especially not a Switch port. I don't want to play this phone game on my goddamn Switch.
The minute Fallout Shelter came over to the Switch and nothing else came over to the Switch, I went, okay, cool. They're not going to support the Switch. They're going to give it fucking mobile ports. And that's what they proved again. They proved it again this year. They proved it again this year.
But Skyrim on it, was like mobile ports from there on out.
And I just can't, like, fuck you. Just fuck you right up the ass. Hate it. I'm very upset with Bethesda.
Okay, well, let's move on with Bethesda.
Okay.
To more happy news from Square Enix.
Great.
Square Enix had a pretty decent.
Good job, Square Enix. You didn't nearly fuck up as hard as Bethesda.
Yeah.
You did a good job. You showed the games.
Final Fantasy, which Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is like, congratulations, I might actually play Final Fantasy VII Remake because that actually looked pretty hype.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword with Final Fantasy VII Remake. We need to talk about that real quick because the only parts that they've shown in Final Fantasy VII Remake is the definitively stuff on the first disc. They have not shown anything from the second disc.
Well, no, they've already said it's good. It's an episodic.
It is an episodic game, but here's the problem: is that and again, I'm not super familiar with the game, but man, here's the question, and they don't seem to know the answer to this. What are they going to do? Like, how are they going to handle this? Like, are they going to just do shot for shot? Like remake? Like they're going to do...
Yeah, like we discussed. I was like, there's some weird stuff.
Weird shit. There's some weird shit.
There's really just like, they just won't play with today's audiences.
Also, there's just general stuff like, you know, how in Midgard you could like go into a couple of buildings. You kind of go to like a couple different of those still screens like on the PS1 era for the JRPGs. And now you're dealing with like PS4 hardware where like you can like literally like do whatever the fuck you want.
Essentially, yeah.
So are they gonna expound on that?
I don't know, man.
And all of this is more development time, more stuff that they got to do,
like,
more stuff that they got to record, more stuff that they have to write.
Was just like, so how long is it gonna be between episodes here?
It's gonna be very long.
Is this gonna be like a Half-Life remake? The original Half-Life remake.
I was watching.
Where it's like all right, here's the first half. We'll get to the second half eventually.
I was watching Inside Gaming yesterday, and they brought up the sad fact that it took Square Enix 17 years to get from fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Here's
like
my other
Square
problem.
Enix,
They just leave it in the oven until it's done, and then sometimes it's just never done. My problem is that what I'm getting at here with the disc thing is that disc 2, you leave Midgar.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. What happens is you go to, and I've talked to Derek about this is why I know this. You do the second reactor. You blow up a second reactor, and then the government, Shinra comes in, or not the government, the Shinra Corporation comes in.
Yeah.
They get fucking pissed at you.
Well, obviously.
They blow the support of the plate and crush the slums.
Oh.
And then they blame Avalanche. So then that part where he's on the motorcycle fighting people, that's him escaping the city.
So, okay,
much like Sonic.
So that's the point. I would say it's probably what this first episode is probably going to be. It's probably going to be all disc 1.
Right. And that's what everybody's thinking. Because here's the problem. You don't go back to Midgar for a while in disc 2. For the majority of disc 2 is what Derek's telling me. So that means you can't reuse any of the assets and you got to remake new assets.
I mean, yeah.
So that's going to mean it's going to take just as long that we've
Maybe they already have that part.
No, dude, because they're not even done with this one.
I don't know.
They don't have. I'm telling you, dude, they don't have anything right. No, and that's my problem. Is that like, that's the other thing is that disc 2 is tonally very different. Like once you get like like disc 1's like the big exposition and shit like that, and then disc 2 is more like the all right, we're changing tone over to a slow burn. We're gonna just exposition dump for a minute for like an hour. Cloud's just gonna sit here and talk about fucking corporationism and shit, and it's just
okay.
And see, the thing is that I don't know if that's really going to play in line with what they're making the remake out to be, because with the action combat,
like I said, I have no basis of comparison because I'd never played.
I think that they should just way
except
more
for
put
the demo that came with like some other game we bought.
If I were doing it, what I would have done from the get go is just taken Advent Children as a baseline and just been like, let's just do the beats. Let's do the major beats for the game.
No, people would have rioted.
Here's my
people want a 1-to-1 remake of Final Fantasy VII. They would have rioted.
You're right.
If they tried to do that.
Here's my problem though. They're still gonna riot. No matter what they
but they would have been a lot worse.
They've had to wait since 2014, man. And it's 29. It's been 5 fucking years, and now it's gonna be 6 before the fucking game's out. So I think it's a losing battle, and I think you should just at least because they're dumping just truckloads of money, just truckloads of money. The quote that Inside Gaming gave that was really funny was that, man, these guys have the best job ever. You can straight up tell your boss it's gonna take you fucking 15 years, and you still get a paycheck.
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want to do it. They're going to do it. I don't know.
So I want to talk to you about something that we kind of had a different opinion on the Square Enix conference that other people apparently didn't like, and maybe we're Marvel fanboys, but I didn't see any problem with the Marvel trailer.
Oh, yeah, that was nice when I was like,
everybody
everybody's
fucking
freaking
hated
the fuck out about it.
And I'm like, what did you want?
Fine. Also, I think people were like complaining about the character designs. And like, it's like, guys.
Realistically,
those probably aren't the final fucking designs. A, and B, it's like they looked fine for what they were going for. Look, I don't know. Like people are just bitching.
Again, here's more bad news corner here. Austin's bad corner here.
Okay.
Marvel fanboys. In-game's done. If you think that they're going to continue to use the celebrity likenesses for anything anymore, like that's done. Like if
that's what they I think is that what people were complaining about? Was like
I hope not, because that's retarded.
To get the likenesses,
like did you want Robert Downey Jr. on?
Because
it's
not even set in that universe. It's not set in the cinematic universe. It's set in its own
I'm so
universe.
confused with that. I'm so confused. It seemed completely passable. It seemed like it's going to be very comparable to the Spider-Man experience on the PS4.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know why people are freaking out.
And like, did people bitch at the Spider-Man PS4 game because it wasn't Andrew Garfield?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't look too closely because I knew it was people just.
What else were people bitching about? What's the other thing that the people could have been bitching about? The fact that there was no gameplay? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
No, there was gameplay. Like that.
Except
the whole
there was.
first part of that game was essentially gameplay. There was no HUD or anything like that, but yeah, that first part of the trailer was essentially gameplay.
It's a fucking release trailer.
Yeah.
There's never a HUD on those because it's not really gameplay.
Yeah.
It's just a concept.
It's quote unquote gameplay.
Yeah, right. I was very confused by that one. I'm still confused by that one. I
need to go look up a YouTube because really they did have it on the show floor. They had a gameplay demo on the show floor apparently.
All right.
So I need to go see if anybody has footage of that.
Have to see if Dr. Disrespect played that one before he went to the bathroom.
So yeah, people freak out about that for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm very confused.
I thought it looked fine. I got hyped. I was like, this looks fucking great. You be the Hulk. You're gonna punch things real good. This Hulk. And multiplayer co-op gameplay. That's when I was like, oh fuck yeah, fucking co-op, fuck yeah.
That's all I want from an Avengers game. I just want to play fucking co-op.
And then other than that, Square's had a bunch of remasters, like of all their older games. Like, but I guess the biggest one would probably be Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah,
they're doing like a HD remaster of that,
Woo.
Which like we talked about earlier is like, well, that's more impressive just because like they probably had to just rebuild some of that game,
most of it actually,
from scratch.
Yeah, from what I understand.
To get that to work.
They also brought out the Legend of Mana series or the Mana series or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because that one's a weird series because it originally started on the Game Boy as a Final Fantasy game, and then they like retconned that. So like there's a Final Fantasy game on the Game Boy, whichever one is part of that Mana series, isn't actually a Final Fantasy game. It's actually part of the Mana series. And then they made Secret Mana, and then they made what's the other one?
I don't know.
I don't follow that.
I don't follow JRPGs at all.
Well, it has action combat, so it's one of the only. Yeah, it's an action JRPG on on the SNES. So.
It's more like I guess Western RPGs aren't much better with story. I know a lot of like Japanese RPGs are just like.
For me, it comes down to pacing, like with what we were just talking about. Like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
That's a big thing when pacing. Like JRPGs, like the pacing is just.
You usually have like a big old like oh man
mid game it just
grinds to a halt. Yeah, just everything just grinds to a halt, and then everything's a grind.
Yeah,
and I just don't want to do that. So.
And the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC looks as confusing as ever.
I have no idea what's going on with that. And I still need to even beat Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm still dealing with the fact that I'm not very okay with how that turned out. So
apparently, you get past the Pirates level, you get towards the end game, it gets a lot better.
Well, no, that's apparently the problem is that like
it's the JRPG problem where it's like kind of except it doesn't have like the big flashy opening. It's just like here's Slaw from the very beginning, and then it gets fun towards.
My problem with the context for Kingdom Hearts is that. I don't like JRPGs, so I'm not here for the JRPG aspect of it. I'm here for the fucking Disney shit.
Yeah.
So if you tell me that like all the middle part with all the Disney worlds is shit, and then once you get to the end where it's nothing but... Because here's the thing, Chris. Once you get towards the end game of Kingdom Hearts 3, it stops being about Disney. Like it just kind of all drops away, and it's just like, Nomura, did you just want to make a different game? Did this turn into a different game?
That game took, what was it, 17 years to come out? I'm sure at some point, there's just probably feature creep. And like as far as the story and
it was very obviously feature creep because he kept on adding in mini games for everything. You can't even fucking do combat. Chris is dying. He's doing all the bodily functions at once. He's just staring off in the distance.
Okay.
I'm just giving people play by play.
Okay, we're good.
Chris is not dead. He's still with us physically. Not spiritually.
Okay, so I don't think the only thing to note from them, but not Bethesda, Square Enix conference was that looter shooter they showed off, Outriders. They didn't show anything like you may have gone to the bathroom at that point.
Oh, sure.
It was like a kind of actually neat looking looter shooter.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
No, yeah, I remember because y'all were like shouting about it or something.
Yeah, like 3-player co-op looter shooter. They actually look fun. They actually had like a cool like world.
Speaking of needing to go to the bathroom, I need to take a trip over there right now. So we're gonna take another break real quick, and then we'll head right back. Hey, we're back.
Hey, I'm sitting.
I feel refreshed because
Good for you, bud.
Have urinated.
Yes.
All right.
So, you want to finish up? I didn't watch the Devolver conference.
I did. They pissed me off as usual because they just doing the japes.
Doing the japes.
Doing the japes.
Japes and jupes.
They actually did. They did their cheeky ass thing, but I will give Devolver this. All the games that they showed looked really cool. I don't remember the names for fucking any of them.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I will run through you what they revealed. They showed like a 100-man obstacle course thing.
Like a 100-man battle royale?
No. It's a 100-man
obstacle course.
Yeah, think of a battle royale, but as like an obstacle course, but like Wipeout or like fucking most extreme elimination challenge from back in the day.
Parkour and
looked
shit?
really fun. It looked like the characters were like little like blob people, looked like the Blob if you remember that character design. So yeah, it's a whole bit. Again, it was just a trailer, so it didn't really show the gameplay or anything like that. But it just showed them all like trying to climb up on like a hill, like full of obstacles and shit like that. It looked pretty funny.
That's neat.
That was really cool. There was that survival horror like 2D Metroidvania thing where it's kind of flipped on its head where you're the monster. So you play as this like just mass of flesh that can just attach to like ceiling and shit like that, and you just kind of swing everywhere, and you just kill people.
Okay.
I know that that's your like prime objective. I'm sure you're gonna have like other things that you need to do in order to survive. But I think they're gonna play with like the whole like, what if the Alien movie or what if John Carpenter's The Thing like focused on the monster of the movie and showed like what it was doing while it was off screen. Like, you know how the Alien movie,
it just like appears in different places.
Like yeah. And I think at like a certain point in the original Alien movie, the alien is actually in every scene. Like after it's introduced, I think it's in every single scene. You just can't see it unless you're looking for it. I think that's an Easter egg from that movie. I don't know if it's Alien 1 or 2. It's one of the Alien movies.
Maybe.
That it does that in. But yeah, it was really cool. So that looked pretty cool. I like Metroidvanias. It's probably going to come out on the Switch. They, the crazy thing that Devolver showed was they partnered up with some company and they're actually going to make Enter the Gungeon as an arcade cabinet.
Huh.
But it's not just Enter the Gungeon. It's a light gun game.
How?
It's a fucking light game gun in 2019. Yeah, I know.
How's that?
So, yep. I don't know. So, and they kept on just making the joke of this is a real thing and everything like that. But I've already made the comment to Derek that I feel that it's probably going to be more of a promotional item that they maybe send to like developers or something like that.
Maybe.
Because like how many of these
I'm sure it's gonna be a very limited run thing.
Right.
Obviously.
Like and also like it's an arcade cabinet, so people aren't really gonna be buying this. Like why would you buy it just straight up like
I mean for Barcades you buy it and have it.
Well yeah, like I mean like but that's not consumers. That's I guess second tier I don't know even what you would call that.
I get what you mean.
Like, Joe Blow isn't gonna be fucking buying a single use arcade cabinet. That only plays one game.
You don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't, man. Maybe they're about to make $1 billion just fucking selling a light gun game in 2019. Yes. But yeah, we got a lot of more stuff to cover. Too much to cover.
Well, hold on. Right before you finish off.
Sure.
So I talk about the goddamn cringy as fuck YouTube coverage of E3 that we had to eventually just stop watching.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just so bad. That was bad. Like poor Jeff Keighley.
The Dorito Pope.
Our Dorito Pope and Savior.
Had to sit in the YouTube studios in Los Angeles right outside of fucking
dealing with
E3.
a bunch of stupid YouTubers.
Dealing with a bunch of fucking dumbass millennial fucking screaming people that had absolutely...
which just goes to show, it's like, man, I get it. Influencers are apparently where it's all the money's at right now. But it's like, man, a lot of these people just are not good live.
It didn't come off to me
as a lot of people, there's a reason they make edited content on YouTube.
Because they're really bad.
They can't go off script.
They can't go off script.
Yeah.
There's a lot of YouTubers who can't go off script. And it's bad.
Yeah. It was just bad and cringy. And it's just like, why are you doing this?
And then people are like, oh, well, they do Let's Plays, so that's kind of like live. I mean, like, that's not scripted. And it's like, that's still...
on camera.
That's still edited.
Yeah.
It's still edited.
Yeah.
They can still take out a part if they just spill their fucking spaghetti everywhere.
Yeah.
So my other thing though is that like I don't even think like you said like you think that that's where the money is. I don't even think that's where the money is.
I'm sorry. That's where people think the money is.
I don't even think it's that, man.
No. Companies definitely think it's like, oh, we got how to reach the kids. What are all the kids like now? But, they like the YouTubers.
Well, let me pause.
We gotta get the YouTubers in here and that'll get the kids interested, and then the kids will get their parents to spend all the money on a product. Get excited for product. Consume product. Get excited for next product.
Well, what if YouTube was doing the E3 coverage and they were just like, wait, but we already just have access to these guys.
I mean,
so
that's
they also don't have to pay for fucking anybody. They can just have fucking Lindsay Sterling just show up and fucking talk about her video game music covers.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, great creator, love her.
Yeah.
She's cute as shit, whatever. Like, does great violin covers or whatever. But like, she was literally like right before one of the conferences, and it was like you had no one else that you could bring out here. At that point,
at one point they brought out Boogie Kenny Omega.
Oh my god!
And I think the weird ass looking dude who is the editor in chief for Kotaku. I think it was just like
editor in chief.
That's for the Bethesda conference. It was just like,
well, let me tell you, they pulled up a panel worthy of the Bethesda conference. Here's my thing, man. At what point do you not just go, hey, we have nobody, Keeley? You want to just talk to developers? Because
that's what Jeff Keighley's good at. That's why I like watching Jeff Keighley do.
He already has that. Nobody's not going to say. Here's my thing. Every developer worth their salt, if you told him, like, hey, you mind sitting down with Jeff Keighley real quick before your conference goes in? It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody loves Jeff Keighley.
Because nobody has a problem with that.
Yeah. People make fun of him for reading the Dorito boat, all that stuff, but
he has the most integrity out of all the fucking stupid ass people.
That's because Jeff Keighley is amazing.
Yeah. He takes care of it.
So, as long as, did you want to take a quick question right before?
Sure. Do you have a question?
Yeah. So, with all the cyberpunk stuff going on, stuff like that.
Are you going to be still mad about it being in third person and not being in third person?
Possibly.
Okay. I think I know where this question's going.
No, it's actually, so with all that stuff coming up, posthumanism, Austin.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Which is posthumanism. So, augmentation. What, if you could have any augmentations, like, would you go for it? Would you start just replacing your humanity with cold, hard machinery and go for augments? And if you would, what augments would you go for? Like, would you go for practical stuff, or would you go for, like, just, like, cool-ass shit? Like, oh, I just want to become, like, fucking invisible for, like, 20 minutes.
Oh, my God. So this is a little bit of a hard question because you have to frame it in reality as of right now. I mean, I guess you don't have to. I'm just choosing to. I have thought about this before. I would, in the coming years, if like just technology continued, like we think that we're reaching the ends of Moore's law. If we just hit another speed bump and then just suddenly just everything starts taking off again and everything starts exploding as far as technology goes again, I would not mind. Because I already have shoulder problems, I would probably be okay with maybe just kind of letting go of my left arm and just dumping all the technology shit in my left arm, and that'd be fine. Here's my problem, though, is that before we can even get into post-humanism stuff, for me personally, I don't know about augmentation so much as like I'm thinking of everything in the realm of prosthetics. Whenever we talk about augmentations, you gotta have.
That's a lot of places where I know in most fiction that's where it starts. It's like, oh well, first we finally just figured out a way to make these prosthetics integrate into your nervous system. Integrate into your nervous system. So now this arm is just it acts. I mean, besides it maybe having a little bit of lives on that, this arm is now just your arm. Like it's robotic. Sure. It's just your arm. It works as your arm would. Hell, we even put sensors into it where you can even like feel and touch still.
Yeah, there's a couple of problems. Is that the latency?
And then it just kind of explodes from there. So
the latency of fine motor movement.
Yeah,
the hands. Like I would never want to give up my hands. Is my problem. Is that the only way that I would be okay with this scenario is if what you just said was true, where I'm having 1-to-1 comparisons of my left hand and my right hand. Yeah. Where I'm not having problems with them. Other than that, if we can't even get the hand down, man.
That's pretty much the most important hurdle. Is like, gotta beat that.
I can't even start thinking about doing anything to like my brain. Most of all, like getting like
gets
chips.
Way far flung into like, I guess like Ghost in the Shell. Here's where you're transferring your like.
And see, that's whenever I get into
essentially your consciousness just into a machine.
That's kind of whenever I get into a thing where I don't know if it's ever gonna do that. Like, you know.
Yeah. Well, because there's even like discussions like, well, yeah, you're essentially okay. It's like, oh, you borrow your stuff and you're just like, well, is that even still you? Did you just die the second your brain shut down? Well, that's an argument as well. But
all I'm saying is that
that's essentially just like a program that is essentially you in every way, shape, or form. Right. But you're dead. That's just a copy of it.
Sure. My thing is that all I'm saying is that I don't know if we're ever going to get to the point where like robotics and prosthetics are going to be good enough, because at the same time, the entire time while all this is being like pushed forward, nanomachines.
Yeah, well, I wrote that down too. It was like
fucking nanomachines.
But because main thing I always think about with this is Deus Ex. Yeah. Specifically, the original Deus Ex and Human, and the new ones they made.
Sure.
They're all robotic enhancements. Because that was a big controversy, I think, even in the story, because I think nanomachines started to come out in the first game.
Yeah.
It was like, well, why wouldn't you do it? Like, it's literally all the benefits of the augmentations with none of the drawbacks.
Now let me me be clear here.
Because apparently the nanomachine augmentation, you just didn't have any drawbacks to it.
Right.
Because it was just like, oh, yeah, right. It's just the little machines in your bloodstream that just do all this shit.
Now there's equal doomsday scenarios with nanomachines.
Yes.
Like I mean there's like world-ending scenarios where, like, you know, I think somebody wrote a scenario where like it was a scientist writing like a feasible scenario where there's another oil spill in the Gulf, and we've developed nanomachines that are going to take that and then just replace it into carbon. And what happens is that you just put like a milliliter of these nanomachines in there, and then they multiply exponentially.
Because they can build themselves.
But they build themselves out of the oil. So they basically just make themselves out of the oil, and then that's just what cleans it up. What if they just didn't stop, though? What if they didn't stop, and what if they kept on? Because we're all made out of carbon. So what if they just never, like, everything's kind of made out of carbon. So what if they just never stopped? What if they started, you know, just taking all the fish, plant matter, started making their way onto shore, and then it's called the gray goo, I believe, scenario, where everything kind of just gets turned into gray goo. And it's fucked.
That's why I say we just stick with robotic augmentation.
That'd be simpler, but there's just so many more applications that you can do with
obviously
biology. And don't get me wrong, prosthetics need to be there. There's going to always be millions of people who need prosthetics.
Yes.
The problem is also, though, is that there's certain, like, organs. I don't want a prosthetic organ.
Yeah.
Because it's already bad enough to even get a transplant to work.
That's a whole thing they go into, I know, in Mankind Divided 2, where there's the whole clinics that have to be set up because it's like there's a special drug you have to take. Because it's like, oh, your body just rejects this shit. And you have to take this drug to even...
That's whenever you get
to not just die horribly of rejection sickness.
And that's where you get the problems of the Ghost in the Shell. Like, the characters from Ghost in the Shell, the people who are on the team, they don't own their bodies.
Yeah.
Their bodies are on lease from the government. And they didn't decide that. Like, especially the main character.
Well, that's something too. Like, apparently that's something in Deus Ex 2 was like, oh, well, you lost your arm in that crash. We put an augment on there.
Now I never asked for this.
Yeah, now you owe us all this money.
I never asked for this.
Oh, also you have to take this drug or you're just going to die. Yeah. And we're the only ones.
That's another expense.
And we're the only ones that sell that drug.
Right. Right.
Like that was the whole like point about Adam was he was the main character in those sequel games where he was one of the first humans is like, oh wait, you don't need the drug.
Yeah.
Like your body is just like for some reason your body has just accepted the augmentations.
It's a thing that just ends up being something that can never be open source. So by its own nature, if we go start doing these human augmentations, it's going to lead into rampant corporate bullshit.
Oh yeah, I mean just look at like Repo Man.
That's why Cyberpunk is so closely tied to anti-consumer and super capitalist shit, is because that's what would happen.
Right now, can get excited for a new product is like, oh man, look at this fucking new hand you can get.
Yeah,
you just want that new hand. Just a simple lease program, you can have this new
hand. It's not even that, man. We talk about problems with technology today with the concept of planned obsolescence that Apple's been caught on several times. Like, imagine if Apple's making your hand and then suddenly they're building a new hand every year.
iHand 3's out now.
And then some other people...
But we're dropping support for iHand 1.
Yeah.
So if you really want to get the newest updates, the newest nerve integration, stuff like that, you got to upgrade to iPhone. You got to upgrade to iHand 3.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't upgrade to iHand 3, you're missing out on these new features.
And it just happens to cost 3 times as much.
Oh, also, we're dropping security updates for iPhone 1. So now you're open to hackers just hacking into your augmentations.
Even today, I'm going to tell you a story here. Even today, and you'll very much appreciate this because you suffer from diabetes. They make Bluetooth insulin pumps.
Yes.
So if you have a certain type of diabetes and a certain...
Probably type 1.
Well, type 1, obviously, but even a subset of that. A super special, very, very bad.
Yeah.
And as you get up in age, bad case of type 1 diabetes, you can have a problem where you need this pump. So they've decided to make this this Bluetooth insulin pump to where it gives it to you automatically.
Yeah.
And you don't have to.
Oh yeah, I've heard stories like, oh yeah, those things are totally like open to hacking.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's the problem though, is that it's supposed to be convenient, so you're gonna have in your body at all times 45 days worth of insulin.
Yeah.
Just in your body, enough to kill you at any moment.
If
in
it
your
all
body,
gets ejected to you,
ready to
yes.
go. And they make something called a Bluetooth bomb, where it overloads the sensor and basically makes it to where it just injects all of the insulin at once. And that can just straight up kill you.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the self-driving cars either, man. It's just like, at some point, we're going to have to talk about...
Back to, like, fiction or something, but Watch Dogs 2 raises the question about that. It's like, well, just all this stuff has to be integrated. Like, to make it work, all this stuff has to be integrated with some type of central OS. If that central OS is vulnerable, congratulations. All those cars connected to that OS are now vulnerable to doing whatever.
Also, who makes the OS? The car manufacturer. So again, back to the corporate problem. My other problem is that, and I've talked about this with you before, the whole thing with the part of the convenience and the safety factor of the self-driving cars is that we've seen over the past 2 years, there's been a number of fatalities caused by self-driving cars. And it turns into a whole news story, turns into a national news story, because people have it in their heads that these cars can do things that you just can't physically do. I can program a car to do certain things. Like, you still have to tell it to do things, right? Yeah. So, like, let's talk about scenarios.
Any AI works. Yeah,
let's say there's a scenario
parameters.
You've got a sidewalk. You got a busy sidewalk. Your car is right next to the sidewalk. It's driving. You got a semi truck for whatever reason, right? Or let's say a key van, a medium size like U-Haul or whatever, right next to you. So you can't go over there. You're not at a stoplight, so I didn't tell it to do whatever. Let's say somebody drunkenly falls out in the middle of the road instantly. I can't program that car to do the impossible, which is to stop on a dime.
Yeah.
And I also can't tell it to hit the other car because that's going to cause a problem. I also can't tell it
to sacrifice my own life to save that person's life.
Exactly. That goes into a whole Isaac fucking bullshit. And then I also obviously can't tell it to jut into the fucking sidewalk and kill everyone. So what is it supposed to do? The problem is that, yes, it will be safer. It's not going to be completely safe.
No.
There's always going to be a problem where there's a no-win scenario where it's like, I'm sorry, that person was where they shouldn't have been. It's still a thing.
Man, it still happens. It happens though with even normal day drivers and stuff like that. But so that's just another. Yeah, augmentation, nanomachines.
So what about you?
Probably do eye stuff, like cool eye stuff.
Oh God, no!
My eyes are just shit anyway. So
yeah, but you would risk the law. Would you risk losing sight?
If I can get like cool like binocular vision, yeah, get like night vision just built in. Be fucking awesome.
I guess I'm just speaking from privilege here since I have perfect 20/20 vision. No, I got, you already know I got a thing with eyes though. Yeah. I don't like Dead Space 2.
Maybe not even both eyes. Maybe just one eye. Maybe just one eye.
It's still a loss of depth perception,
man.
Put
all the shit in there.
No, it's still a loss of depth perception.
I have a loss of depth perception now.
Oh.
One of my eyes is worse than the other, so I take out my glasses. My depth perception is still fucked.
Jesus.
Because my left eye is worse than my right eye.
Awful.
Okay, so I think that'll about wrap it up.
We're going to wrap that up for today. We need to go back and look at Nintendo. We haven't talked about Nintendo.
So we're going to have E3 Part 2 for you next
Nintendo
week.
Edition, either next week.
Nintendo, what we talk about? Nintendo, Ubisoft, and I guess the PC gaming show.
Yeah, Ubisoft and PC gaming show a little bit less on the thing because we a lot of shit about Nintendo that we need to talk about. So we'll save it for then. As always, keep listening. Do our plugs.
Please, send us some emails at halfbakedandhalfraced@gmail.com. That's halfbakedandhalfraced@gmail.com. If you'd like to send us an email to ask any questions. And I'm Chris.
And I'm Austin.
Yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of the Half Baked Half Race Show.
We finally did it.
The E3s.
E3 is upon us, brothers.
Well, it'll be next week, but we'll still talk about it.
There probably isn't anything else happening next week.
No, like I'm assuming all these big announcements came out. I'd be very shocked if anything else.
And it's going to take us a minute to get all through.
Now all the news is going to come out next week.
See you then.
All right. Bye-bye.